Hey everyone, Jamie here from TechnicalCafe.com, and in this tutorial we're going to be talking about while loops in PHP. And just like for loops, while loops can actually be used to make repetitive or iterative processes a little bit more efficient and a little bit easier on the programmer as well. So let's take the example we used in the for loops tutorial, writing the numbers 0 to 10 to the screen, and let's apply this to a while loop. So what we're going to do here, we have our index.php file and we have our PHP tags. What we're going to do is create a variable called x, and we're just going to set that equal to 0. And this is going to be similar to our initialization statement with the for loop. We're going to start at 0, and we're going to use this variable x with our while loop. So a while loop is pretty simple to set up. Only takes one condition. We're going to say while, and then have our parameter list here, which is where we're going to put our Boolean condition, and then we're going to have the body of our loop. So let's go ahead and create our condition here. We want to write the numbers 0 to 10 to the screen, and in order to do that, we're going to use this variable x to act as our initialization statement as well as our ending condition. So we're going to say while x is less than or equal to 10, we're going to do whatever is inside of the body of this loop. So in this case, we're just going to want to echo some numbers to the screen, so we'll say echo x, and then we're going to go ahead and just echo a line break. If you wanted to, you could actually include this line break on the same line as the echoing the number out, but just for simplicity's sake, we're going to echo it out separately. So let's go ahead and do this and see what happens. So you'll notice that we get the number 0 straight down the board here, and it's actually still running, and this is because the loop condition is still evaluating to true. And let's take a look at why that is. So if we look here, we have 0 in our value here, and we're echoing the value 0 out until x is equal to 10. But what we never told this loop to do is add 1 to the value of x. So this is essentially still going to be 0 the whole time that this loop is running, and this loop will not stop running until it makes this condition false. So what we need to do here is actually go ahead and create some logic that's going to update this each time the loop runs. So in order to do that, it's going to be very simple. What we're going to do is for each iteration of the loop, we're going to go ahead and say x plus plus. And let's go ahead and save this, come over here to Chrome, and stop this page from running as we have a bunch of zeros in here. And we're going to refresh, and you notice that we get the numbers 0 to 10. And this is a quick recap of how this works. So we start with 0 here outside of the loop, and then within this statement here, we say as long as x is less than or equal to 10, keep the loop running. So we're going to echo out the value of x, and then we're going to echo out a line break along with that. And then right before the loop stops running, we're going to add x plus plus, or an increment to the value of x. So then this becomes 1, and then 1 is still evaluates as being true because it's less than or equal to 10. So then we go ahead and echo out the values here. This gets updated to 3. 3 is still less than 10, etc., until we get the values here on the screen printed out. One thing to avoid, in which you already saw, is to try to avoid setting this to true unless it's absolutely needed by the program. And this is what's called an infinite loop if you set this equal to true. And what's going to happen in this situation is the loop's just going to keep running and running and running and running until eventually your browser crashes, or you get something, some type of error or whatnot. So this is basically a while loop in a nutshell. A couple of use cases for it would be, for example, parsing data from a file where you don't know how many lines of data are in the file. You could just use a while loop while saying while the file still has the next line, keep it coming into the loop, and then stop when it doesn't have any more lines. So that's a while loop. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the comments section below, and thank you for watching.